Welcome back, folks. Dow right now is down 245. The Nasdaq's off 101. S&Ps are down 24. And we're lucky enough, and we hit the lottery quite a bit around here, particularly when the Fed's coming out. We have our man, Mr. Chris Gaffney. Chris is the president of EverBank World Markets. And folks, if you want to learn more about EverBank, just come over to our website at TFNN. You'll see the banner on the right-hand side. You can hit that banner. You'll bring up the EverBank website. And Chris and I are going to be talking about not only the markets, we're going to talk about what type of services EverBank can provide you. Chris Gaffney, welcome back to TFNN.
Well, thanks. I appreciate the kind words.
Well, I'll tell you, it's so cool having someone like you not only coming on, but you get a large bank, you deal with a lot of currencies, you deal with derivatives, and of course, the Fed comes out with an announcement today, and they really didn't say that much. What do you think about what they have to say, Chris?
Well, I thought it was mildly dovish when it came out.
Yes.
And mainly because, they added back that language about monitoring global economic and financial events, and they also took away some language that said the risks are balanced right now. So
yes.
To me, that shows that they're a little worried, and rightfully so. I think with the data that's been coming out of the U.S., the economic data here doesn't show that the economy is really in as good a shape as they would think, especially to raise interest rates. And so I thought that the Fed was dovish in their statement, but now we've turned around here, and I think the whole market did. I mean, gold was up on it, and so everybody thought, well, maybe they've taken that March rate increase off the books. But now we're turning negative on the equities again, or turned pretty sharply negative on the equities,
sure.
And so that's a little confusing. But gold's still holding up, and
gold has caught a good bid, and so hasn't platinum. Platinum was getting killed, and they both caught a pretty good bid. I'd like to see silver get over this 1460, but there's no doubt that they caught a bid. You know what the amazing? I mean, it's got to be so hard, their position anyway, because I mean, the economy was a mess, right? Everything went down. And it's amazing though when we looked around the rest of the world, and those rates are so low, and our rates still are kind of high.
Well, that's what's going to continue to support the dollar.
Yes.
I mean, that is exactly what's driving people to buy dollars, and will continue to drive people to buy dollars. I think until we see, the Bank of Japan or the European Central Bank start to talk about raising rates, and the U.S. is the only ones that are even considering a rate increase at this point. So, and our economy may, consumers sure think our economy is doing well, and I guess that's maybe a result of the low gas prices. Consumer confidence is really strong. So,
Tommy and I, my son Tom and I, we do a program in the morning, and we've been talking quite a bit about your currency accounts, and the main reason is that because the rand dollar and some of these equities, mining equities in South Africa have just gone to the moon. And we know what we were thinking, Chris, right? Now, this gets pretty cool, folks, okay? At first, we were saying, this would be pretty cool because we're thinking, okay, if we had a Tiger trip and go to South Africa, right? The rand dollar is $16.50 to $1 US, folks, okay? And I says, oh my God, hold it. Even if you just buy 10,000 US, right, you get 160,000 rand dollars, and it's almost, you're a winner both ways. If you go to Safari, that's going to be great, right? But then if you don't go to Safari and the dollar, pulls back at all, well, great. You're going to make more US dollars.
You book gains, and that's, I think, the key. And even though this difference in interest rate policies by our central banks may keep the dollar fairly strong here in the short term, most, and if not, a majority of people believe that we're nearing the top, and some actually think we are at the top of the dollar, and that we're not going to see too much more strength from the dollar here in the medium to longer term, and therefore, there are opportunities, I think, in investing into foreign currencies, select foreign currencies that will improve, and on your first point, yeah, I mean, the world is on, vacation to the world is on at a discount right now because of this strong dollar. So
it is.
If you're planning on traveling, outside the States is cheap right now.
And what happens, folks, is that, when you hit the banner and you come over to EverBank, they have foreign currency accounts. And what's so cool here, and I know Tommy kept saying to me, well, what if it doesn't go down? I says, this is the best of both worlds. If you think you're going to go take a trip, whether to South Africa or Europe or Mexico or South America, well, guess what? You could open the account at EverBank, change the dollars into that, right, into that currency, right? And then guess what? If something happens that you don't go, it seems like, well, to me, it seems like those, the
currencies are cheap right now.
Exactly. So it's like, oh my
another
God.
Example.
If
Brazil's got the Olympics coming up, so there's a great opportunity to go down, book travel there if you're looking at it. And boy, talk about a good rate to carry. Brazil's cheap right now. I know their economy is kind of a mess, but that's an opportunity too.
It is, and we haven't seen this opportunity, folks. When I was a kid, this opportunity was kind of all over the place. You'd go somewhere and King Dollar was like amazing. Because what's wild, Chris, is that when you look at the dollar index is really not that high in correlation of some of these currencies that we're talking about. Some of these other currencies have got killed compared to the dollar.
Yeah. No, and you're right there. And we're around, and this is an important spot for the dollar. It looks like after dropping substantially in the past few years, the currencies are starting, especially the euro, is starting to stabilize in here, and we're seeing signs on a technical side. I'm not a huge technical trader, but even the technicals on the dollar index are looking like the dollar is starting to settle in here a little bit and could be at an inflection point, depending on if we jump above the 100 mark again. But right now it looks like it could be at a turning point.
And if we could just talk a minute or so about the yield pledge checking account that you have, because this money market account, folks, is huge. If you want to be out of the market and just be in cash, EverBank has this yield pledge checking account. Yeah,
our account opening people have been incredibly busy, because I know we were among the top on yields for our CD products, and we continue to be among the top on our checking accounts. And yeah, we have a pledge to keep the interest rate on that checking account among the top 5% of our competitors. So it's a case where you get a great rate up front.
Yes.
We have what we call a bonus rate for the first 6 months that you have the money here. And then even after that, though, we are going to stay among the best paying checking accounts. And it's a full service checking account. It's some great online capabilities and a totally liquid account.
You have to love it. Come over to our website at TFNN, folks. You're going to hit the EverBank banner. You're going to see it go right under banking. Chris, you have a great day, safe day. We really appreciate the education and the update.
You bet. You have a great day.
Have a great one. You stay right there, folks. We'll come right back. Dow's down 226. NASDAQ's off 100. S&P's are down 23. We're going to be right back.